Hey everybody, I hope you all are doing well, and welcome back to our very special off-cycle edition of Michael's Matters. And I, of course, am Michael, and the reason for the off-cycle video today, October 13th, we are doing this special video is because today is the day of the day that Social Security releases its much-anticipated cost of living adjustment, or COLA, for 2023. These new numbers, they will affect those folks who are on Social Security-based programs. So things like Social Security Retirement, Social Security Disability SSDI, Supplemental Security SSI, and Railroad and Retirement Benefits from the VA. These new COLA for 2023 will set the tone and the budgets for those 65 million Americans on Social Security for the next year, and ultimately be the seawall that will help seniors and retirees hold back the tide of inflation that have really beaten down their budgets over this last year. So today, we are talking about the finalized COLA 2023 numbers for Social Security benefits, what this could mean for the year ahead, and what may be some of those unintended consequences of having such a large COLA in 2023. Now, this is Michael's Matters, and before we get to it, if you like these videos, if you find them interesting, if you find them helpful, or if you at least find them useful, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. All right, now let's get down to it. So without any further ado, let's talk about the numbers up front and get this out of the way. So the COLA for 2023 that was announced today by the Social Security Administration is going to be at an 8.7% increase, which is, yes, going to be the biggest increase basically in the last 40 years. So unless you are currently 102 years old or older, first of all, good for you. And then second, this is going to be the biggest bump that anybody has received in living history. This 8.7% increase for 2023 is a big increase in comparison to this year's 2022's 5.9%, which at the time was seen to be a very big increase. So what does this mean in real dollars? Well, for everybody on Social Security benefits, mainly retirees and older Americans and folks on disability, it'll mean obviously an increase because the percentage, it'll be applied differently, so it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. But for the average Social Security beneficiary who gets the average check of $1,681 in 2022, and again, we can argue about who is average, which is basically nobody, but this is the average number, it'll be an increase of $146 per month. That is a pretty good chunk of change. Now, if you've been following the progress of the economy and ultimately the COLA over this last year, you would have seen estimations for the COLA, what it would be for 2023, vary pretty wildly from as low as 7% all the way up to 10%. And the reason for this is because, well, I mean, the economy has been going a bit haywire for the last 18 months or so, being flush with pandemic relief or stimulus checks, PPP loans, infrastructure spending, and the child tax credit. And all that money went flowing into the economy and caused prices to go up. Everything went up because there was more dollars chasing fewer things. And so goes the economy, and so goes the COLA. But this more subdued COLA of 8.7%, quote unquote, subdued, is basically as a result of inflation starting to decrease. It's increased over these last 3 months of July, August, and September, which are the 3 months that are used by Social Security to actually calculate the COLA amount. Now that we have all 3 months inflation numbers, including the final month for September, that gets us to 8.7%. And we can see that in July, the CPIW, which is the number that Social Security uses to calculate the COLA, was at 9.1%. And then in August, it was at 8.7%. And then in September, the newest number, it shows inflation actually decreased to 0.85%. So with all these numbers added up, we put them all together, we divide them by 3 to get the average, and the COLA ends up coming out to an average of 8.7%, which will be passed on for the increase for 2023. So the ultimate question is the COLA enough? Is this COLA, even the large one, going to be enough? So obviously first, getting more benefits into the hands of those who need it, I mean, it's 100% correct thing to do. No one's arguing about that. But with the COLA for 2023 set at 8.7%, depending on the trajectory of the economy, and even the largest increase in the last 40 years, the 2023 COLA may actually not be enough for some seniors and retirees to keep their heads above the water next year. One other side note, by the way, is that one big help that is also going to help along a lot of seniors and retirees is the fact that the Medicare Part B premium will actually end up going down. So it'll put more money into the pockets of seniors. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the details about Medicare Part B dropping, but just know that it went down to $164.90 for next year, so down $5.20 from where it was this year in 2022 at $170.10. So that'll add additional percentage to the COLA as far as when we look at the total amount of money increased in seniors' pockets, which will bring that percentage up to 8.99%, or $151.20 on average for that average Social Security beneficiary, or yearly, that adds an additional $1,814.40 in total. Now remember, because seniors are going to actually pay $5.20 less for their Medicare moving forward, that amount of money is actually going to have an outsized increase for lower income seniors. So their percentage might actually be higher than that 8.99%. And on the inverse, if folks have higher Social Security benefits, then it'll actually have a lower percentage increase. So again, it'll vary from person to person. Okay, so back to the question of, is this good or is this bad for seniors? And that will all depend on how things in the economy go for the next 12 to 18 months. Because remember, the COLA increase only happens once a year. So if the inflation rate continues to increase into next year, it'll mean that each month retirees and older Americans on Social Security benefits will month by month lose ground against inflation, meaning that their dollars will buy less and less. And this is what basically everyone experienced this year when they got a 5.9% COLA increase for 2022, which did not stand up to the 8.5% inflation that we were all feeling throughout this year. In fact, if you listen real quiet right now, you can hear your buying power decreasing. But on the inverse, if the federal bank's adjustments to the interest rates has the desired effects of slowing inflation, or if we get into a recession of some sort, that could actually be a windfall retirees who are going to continue to get that 8.5% increased COLA throughout the year. And if actual inflation rates fall or stop below that, then, it'll mean that they will have a little bit of a windfall. They'll actually have a little bit of a rare leg up on the economy. Now, again, at first glance, look, it is great that seniors and retirees will get additional benefits, but there are undoubtedly going to be unintended consequences of such a big increase that could actually affect us all and folks on Social Security benefits as well. First is that an 8.99% increase in benefits, or in cash, I should say, is quite large and may have an effect on the alternate benefits. So things like food stamps, housing, Medicare assistance programs like Medicaid and Medicare savings programs can have an effect on all of those. And by this, I mean that many seniors may find themselves losing some or even all of those benefits because their increased income, especially if they are right on the border of qualifying for income-based programs. So for example, 100% of the federal poverty line, so that is the line of poverty that says you are poor or not, and many of those programs are based on. In 2021, it was at $12,880 per year. That's for the contiguous United States. It's different for Hawaii and Alaska because stuff is expensive up there. But in 2022, that number jumped to $13,590. So the difference is about 5.6%, which means that for 2022, people on Social Security benefits like SSDI and Social Security Retirement, they got a 5.9% increase in their benefits for their COLA, which actually puts them over that federal poverty line for a variety of programs. Again, so this goes like programs from Medicaid, Section 8, Medicare assistance programs like low-income subsidy and Medicare savings plans, as well as SNAP and food stamps. So it is really, truly necessary that programs like these ones that are income-based, need to be more correctly adjusted so that people on Social Security benefits, they don't lose these very important and very, very valuable benefits just because they are now a few bucks over. Because of a COLA and the decrease in Medicare costs, it could do that. Also, there is potential inflation, but we don't have time to. I'm not going to get into inflation in this video. We'll do it next time. So overall, looking at the recent inflation numbers for the COLA for 2023 is coming out to right about where the Senior Citizen League had anticipated at 8.7%. They were basically right on the number. But to quote Biggie Smalls, more money, more problems, right? And this could be the case for millions of people who rely on Social Security benefits for financial support, but could for a few low-income seniors and disabled individuals could also put them over the limits for those services that are equally as important. Without these services, even with the increase in benefits in the COLA for 2023, the quality of their lives, the ability for them to make ends meet, and the possibility of living life with dignity is severely diminished. And that is just not right. All right, so that's it for today, and I hope that you found these videos interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos come out. So, For Michael's Matters, I'm Michael, hoping that you take care of yourself, take care of others, and have a happy, healthy day.